Hello guys, welcome to our consultancy space. We will wait 1 minute so that people can start joining the conversation and we will start. Hello, hello. We'll start in 1 minute. So we are waiting a bit just for people to join. Good. So welcome guys to the first consultancy space for being part of the MC 1920. We will start. So thank you so much for being here. As it was in the post, you can go to this link. It's bit.ly/MC1920 Poland Q&A. So in this link, you will have a tool. I can show you. So this. In this tool, you are able to put your questions. So like if during the presentation there's something that you are, I don't know, like you want to ask, or it's something that you are not understanding at all, you can write the question, and at the end we will have a question space. So like I will be able to answer all the questions. And also like other candidates or other people that wanted to apply and have the same question, like the information will be there forever. So like you can check it after, and like you can always come back to this tool. So, say that, I will introduce myself very quickly. So, my name is Daniel Carrillo. I'm the MCP 1920 for AIESEC for Poland. I'm originally from Mexico. Right now, I'm MCP OGV here in AIESEC for Poland, and I will be the person leading the next generation. In terms of that, I'm very happy with my experience in Poland. Like in general, my experience as MCP was very challenging so far. But at the same time, it's an experience that it's challenging me every single day to learn something new and to bring something to the entity. So I'm very, very happy to be here. And let's go through the agenda so that you will understand what we will see during this space. So the first thing, I will explain you a little bit about the context of AIESEC for Poland. So like you will understand what is happening in the entity, how it's going, the things right now for AIESEC for Poland. Then we will go through current challenges and also like what are the things that are going well in the entity so far. Then I will explain you like what is Shape Our Blue and also the vision that I have for the next generation. We will go also through MC 1920 application process and also the MC experience and life. So like all the conditions and how it is to be MC in Poland. And the last part, as I told you before, it will be the questions. So like if you have any doubt or something, just let me know. If you are in the tool, you can write the questions in the general tab. So like whatever question that you have, you can write it there, and I will answer it at the end of the space. So let's go to the current state of the entity, and for that I will give you a little bit of context So like you will understand what was the focus through these like 5 years in AIESEC for Poland. Why it's important? Because at the end we are the generation that will be the last part of AIESEC 2020. So it's important to understand what was happening in AIESEC for Poland in the previous years. So when it comes to the MC15-16, the main focuses were expansions, OD model, and PD direction. It was the first generation that was creating the OD model in the entity. Also, it was the generation that started building the PD bases and all the projects that we have right now. So I will explain you this later. For the generation 16-17, the main focus was ICOM strategy. Like they were focusing a lot in the communication with the entity, like between LCs, with the network, MCLC, and all the things that are regarding to ICOM. We built a very, very strong ICOM identity and culture. Also, it was a generation that have a very good growth mindset, and they were pushing a lot to grow and to have this ambition that go higher. And also, it was a lot of evolutions regarding to TM and how to track and how to do better things in regarding to TM. When it comes to the generation 17-18, the main focus was a complete mindset, and like we were changing a bit the mindset in the people, and like we were also putting this, okay, like complete experiences are important, and like how to all the process need to happen during the experience and during the customer flow to be able to have completes. Also, like this strong PD and PR is still in the entity, so like we were pushing a lot with projects, we were doing a lot of things regarding to PD and PR. And also, it was the first generation that also had a very good boost in terms of financial and legal situation. It was a generation that had a finance director and also like a finance manager in the MC, so like two people focusing in like all the things that are regarding to the finance and to all the things that need to happen in terms of sustainability and in terms of finance implementation in the entity. And for sure, like our generation, MC Tempo 18-19, the main focus is for us as a team. It's of course this growth mindset. We are also supporting a lot the LCs to understand how to develop the products, how to improve in the processes, and how to do all the things that are regarding to the products. Also, we are standardizing a lot of processes, like trying to align with the global timeline, trying to align with a lot of things that are happening in the global scope. But also, we are trying to standardize all the processes that are happening in each product, as its sales for IGB, at its timeline, offline activities, and all the things that are regarding with OGB, OGT, OGE, and of course, IGT and IG. So this is the main focuses that we have as MC 18-19. And also, as a context, I can show you how is the performance of the entity so far. So you can see that during the last years, we have we are very similar in terms of results. In 15-16, we achieved 2,022 approvals. In 16-17, we achieved 2,377. 17-18, we achieved 2,053 approvals. And right now, so far, just in winter peak, we have 879. So as you can see, like when an entity that is there is not like growing disruptively, is not dropping disruptively, so like we are just average in the way that we are stable, and we during the last 3 years we were doing the same amount of approvals. So you can see that, for example, OGB is a product that is growing in the last 3 years. IGB, it's a product that it's also always having more than 100, like 1,400 approvals. So like you can see that we have something there, and also like the amount of approvals is very, very similar in the different generations. In terms of winter peak, and just to give you a little bit more perspective how we are growing, like the generation 18-19 is growing. We have 879 approvals. Comparing with the previous generation, we had 601. So like we are growing in OGB and IGB mostly. So there are the two products that are growing currently, and like OGE, OGT, IG, and IGD. The performance is not going that well, but at the end we are trying to boost the product also, so it's something to give you perspective. In terms of realizations, we are also in the same level. Last year we had 456, and right now we have 407, so it's like the same amount of realizations. And in terms of complete, we are also there. So as you can see, like also we are very, very similar with the previous generation. So when it comes to that, and like passing now for the current challenges that we have as an entity and the current things that are happening right now in the AIESEC for Poland, We can see that at the end we have this very stable situation during the years, but this is giving us that we are not maybe thinking about in these long-term strategies and how our strategies on the things that we are doing right now are like maybe giving something else to AIESEC for Poland in the future. So like the main thing is like every year have a very good strategies, and like we are going there, but we are not thinking in how our actions can impact the future generations. Also, another challenge is the plan versus achieving DLCs in the local level. We are having a very ambitious goals, but maybe the implementation of the strategies or the tracking of the strategies are not the best. So like we need to improve in the way that we are supporting maybe DLCs, or how DLCs are like passing for all this planning process in order to achieve their goals. Financial sustainability and stability. Of course, like we are very good in IGV, and also we are like having a very good amount of exchanges there, but also like how we are being able to make all of our approvals and all of our exchanges sustainable. It's something that we need to improve. And of course, standardization in GB. Like as I was telling before, we are having a lot of things happening right now in OGB and IGB. We are standardizing a lot of the projects and the products. We are standardizing a lot of the things that are happening in terms of timeline, IR, in terms of sales, in terms of all the things that need to happen. So like it's currently a challenge because of course requires a lot of things, but it's going in a very good way. But for sure, when it comes to the things that also are going well and make AIESEC for Poland stronger, we have IGV as a global competitor, and maybe as you can see in all the rankings and like in all the things that are happening in the global level, IGV and AIESEC for Poland is a very, very strong product. We are always there. We are one of the biggest entities that are growing, and also we are being a global competitor for the product. When it comes to OGV, we have a very nice moment, because in this moment all the DLCs are running OGV, so it's one product that we have a lot of hope for the next generation. So like also something that we can develop a lot. Right now we are growing, like for the last 3 years, it's something that is more standardized, it's something that is giving us a lot of results. So like it's something that we can boost and can give a very good growth to the entity in the future. When it comes to PD and external projects, also we have a very good position there. We are cooperating with a lot of partners, and like we have a lot of projects that are giving us exchanges, but are also like boosting the entity in general. So we have a very strong relationship that it lasts for years, and also it's something that is giving us a lot as an entity. And the last part is that right now, as MC 1819, we are focusing a lot in change things that will like last for the future. As I was telling you, like maybe the mindset before it was these tier strategies. Right now we are thinking about in how our work can be good for the entity in the future. So like right now we are developing a lot the OD model, the financial model. We have this audio database for members. So like we are implementing a lot of things that will help the entity, not just for our generation, but also like it's giving a lot of inputs for the next generation, and standardizing all the processes and all the information that we have in all the areas. So this is when it comes to things that are making AIESEC for Poland stronger. And say that, I think it's like a moment to pass and to start thinking about the next generation, right? So when it comes to the next generation, and when it comes to the MC 1920, as I was telling you before, is this MC that will be leading the last generation of AIESEC 2020. So that's why it's so important for us, and that's super important to make sure that all the people that is thinking about applying is understanding the context when AIESEC in Poland, like AIESEC for Poland is right now, and how the generation should be for if this disruptive growth that we are waiting for AIESEC for Poland. So when it comes to the next generation, of course, like the duration of the experience is from August 1st until 31st of July of 2020. So the experience itself is for 12 years, but of course, all the people is required to be in Poland in June 1st. So we are able to have our planning process, and we are able to deliver all the things that we need to deliver even before starting the term. When it comes to the team experience, I think being MC and being part of a team, when you are like living and working with 70 people at the same time, it's something super challenging, but it's also something that gives you a lot of growth, and like gives you a lot of good moments, and it's something that adds a lot of value to the experience. So of course, in terms of team experience, it's not just about like the people that is living in the MC or like the MC team. It's also understand that our entity and AIESEC for Poland is a huge entity, Like we have more than 500 members. We have more than 48 years existing as an entity. So that gives us that we have 15 LCs that are part of our network. We have a lot of partners, and we have a very strong alumni body. So all of these things make the experience something bigger, not just like, okay, like I'm part of an MC team and I'm part of delivering something. You will be part of an entity that is having a lot of touch points and it's having a lot of things happening at the same time. So you will be able to interact with our network, with different LCs, with different nationalities, because also as it's right now in our team, we are 8 different nationalities. So like it's something that gives you a lot of perspective about what is happening in the world, a lot of ideas, and a lot of perspective in how you can improve and how we can do a better job for AIESEC for product. When it comes to the salary, our salary is monthly, and it's like based in it's based and paid in like local currency. So it's 1,050 zlotys per month. That is around 250 euros. This is more than enough, more than enough to live in Poland. As for the people that maybe is not from Poland, Poland is a very cheap country in terms of like normal life and like life expenses. So the salary it's good itself. We have also like social things. The house and the office are very close, so like you can walk from the house to the office, and everything is very close in terms of our daily life. And when it comes to different things regarding to conferences or everything, like this is in the booklet, but of course, everything depending on the budget will be covered or partially covered. So like the salary itself is enough to survive and to live in Poland. Then when it comes to the house and the office, of course, like the house is located in Wołomin, that it's a neighborhood that it's like 20 minutes away from Warsaw by train. So we are kind of outside of Warsaw, but it's very, very easy to go there. You need to walk. There is a train station. You take a train, and in 15 minutes you are in the city center of Warsaw. Also, like in the house, everything is covered. Internet services and all the things that it could be required in the house are covered. And from the office to the house, or to the house to the office, it's 20 minutes walking. It's also very, very close. We have so many shops and a lot of things around the house and around the office. So like itself, the conditions are good. Our office is located in a second floor. We have 2 different offices. Like we have one, like 2 offices to work with normal desk and all the things that are there. And we have another office for meeting rooms and innovation rooms. So like it's also a very nice place to spend 8 hours daily. Then, when it comes to the MC, and of course, like the thing that I was showing you before, it's like all the conditions and all the things that are happening when you are already elected. But maybe you are wondering what kind of profile or what are the requirements that AIESEC for Poland is looking right now. When it comes to the profile, when it looks to the people that will be leading our entity for the next generation, I'm looking for people that, of course, it's able to live and represent all the AIESEC values and all the AIESEC competencies, because it's something that when you are there and you are leading a network and you are like leading an entity as AIESEC for Poland, you need to like be the best representative of these kind of values and competencies. It's something that is needed, and it will be assessed during the whole process, during the application, during the interviews. But also when it comes to other things that are also looking for my team, it's one thing. And it's this real passion and real understanding why AIESEC is important, and of course why AIESEC is important for Poland. So when it comes to the people that will be leading the next generation, I'm looking for that people that truly live in AIESEC and truly believe that the things that we are doing in our organization are changing the world and are changing the country that we are working for. I'm also looking for people that have this no excuses mindset, and like it's able to create the strategies, but it's able to implement the strategies. We're in a point when we need to be super implementers, and we need to be sure that all of our ideas and all the like things that are put in an application and all the things that we are doing as a team will be implemented. Why? Because it's the last generation that we have to achieve something big, right? So after this, we are going to another midterm ambition, and like we are going to do other stuff, and we are continue growing and developing AIESEC for Poland. But this is the last generation that we have to actually put AIESEC for Poland in the place that we need to be in terms of AIESEC 2020 vision achievement. So I'm looking for people that will be able to implement all the ideas that you are putting, and that is very good in that. And also I'm looking for people that it's like thinking outside of the box, like these people that it's able to propose something new, that it's people that it's able to innovate something, like to think about how we can solve a problem in a very different way, and how we are able to make all the problems or all the situations that are happening around Poland in an opportunity to grow and an opportunity to develop our entity. So this is mainly like what are the things that I'm looking for the people that will be part of the team. When it comes to requirements, of course, as I was telling you before, I'm waiting for people and I'm looking for people that is able to come on 1st of June, because we need to start transition, we need to start planning and everything. So like you need to be physical in the country in the 1st of June. Also, I'm looking for people that, of course, have a role in AIESEC, like it's able to speak in English at least level B, and that it's available also to start transition, like virtual transition on May. So it's also something important if you are like thinking about retirement or everything. Like it's also something that you need to take into consideration in terms of time and in terms of all the things that are happening virtually during May. I hope that everything is clear. If not, remember that you can go whatever moment to the link and write your questions, and I will be reading the questions at the end of this space. Then, when it comes to the structure and what are the structure that I'm envisioning for AIESEC for Poland next year, as it's in the booklet, like right now the structure is still in consideration, and of course I have an idea on what are the things, like the specific positions that I want to have, but I'm waiting until IPM, so like we will be able to have more inputs and to understand what are the real needs that AIESEC for Poland needs for the next year. So we will be able also to understand how it's going the current term and like how our strategy is looking. But so far, like the departments are divided in this way. So we are looking for operations team, that it's of course like the product heads, OGD, IGD, OGE, OGD, IGE, IGD. When it comes to TM, PD, finance, OD, and BCXP. In the terms of BCXP, we are looking like mostly for profiles that it be able to have IM, digital marketing, and of course B2C, B2B oriented, like people oriented with knowledge about that. So this is the different departments and this is the different subsystems that the team is looking for. So it's also important because based on that subsystems and based on that departments, it's the application structure in the way that we can have perspective in all the roles that you can have. Also, something that is important to mention here, and if you already saw the application, it's something that maybe you noticed. You are not applying for a specific position, or you are not applying for a specific department. Of course, you are choosing something that you like more, and you will like answer more questions about that. But you are also answering like from all the departments and all the subsystems. So that it's important because that will give us perspective in how maybe you can fit in another role or fit in another kind of position. So in that way, also my invitation is to don't be super attached to a role or don't be super attached to some position, because also this kind of application and this kind of processes is to like open your mind and make sure that all the people that will be in the team will be team player and like will be able to move and to like contribute whatever position will be better for you and for the entity. So my invitation is like if you are thinking to be part of AIESEC for Poland, just be open to the position, because at the end a position is not defining who you will be. It's like you will be defining the position and how you can shape this position to achieve your development, but also contribute to AIESEC for Poland. So in terms of that, I would like to go to the checklist of the application. So I also we can go through the application itself, so I can solve any questions if you have. So in the application you have, of course, the MCP Word, the requirements that we were already showing, and I will refresh this. So in the terms that it's refreshing. Also, as I was telling you before, the application itself and the application questionnaire, it's based on two different things. We have a general questionnaire that is regarding to all the part to understand your motivations and why you're applying for AIESEC for Poland, and understand also who are you as a person and what else maybe the value proposition that you can give to the entity. And the other part is regarding to the specific questionnaire and like what are the things are the specific knowledge that you have and you can provide to the entity. The executive summary is just one page when you are answering like who are you and like what are the value proposition that you're having for AIESEC for Poland next year. The video, it's also 3 minutes video presenting yourself and also answering the question how you will shape AIESEC for Poland. Like the main idea of the video, it's try to meet you a little bit more, and like we are different when we are just writing and when we introduce ourselves in a video or something. So this is also a good opportunity to like show yourself and to show your passions and to show who are you in a very original way. The CV with all your experiences, positions, conferences, and all the background that you have. So like we will be able also to understand who are you in terms of like previous experiences. Endorsement letter, so like you can find all the details in the application package, but mostly it's someone that led you, someone that you led, and a co-worker. If you are international, you also need endorsement for your home entity, and if you are applying for this PD corner, you need an external endorsement, like some company, some person that is not related to AIESEC that is able to recommend you. English certificate, as I was told you, AIESEC for Poland, it's like mostly all the things that are happening in the entity are in English, all the communication, all the conferences and everything is in English. So like you need to have a good level in order to communicate all your strategies and all the things that are happening in the MC or all the interactions that we have with the network. So that's why it's important. This acknowledge letter is just a letter that you need to write saying that you are able to come to Poland physically on June 1st, and also you are able to start transition in May. So like it's just a compromise that you are able and you understand the dates and you understand the importance of being here to start the planning process and the dreaming process. And legal documents is just another for internationals to start understanding what are the visa processes, and in case that you get elected, what are the next steps that you need to have in order to like be legally in the country. So let's check the application. Yeah, it's done. So we already go there to the MC Live, conferences and everything. I will go to the timeline in a minute. So yeah, this is mostly the application. So here you can find the details of every single thing that is in the application, how you need to submit the documents, the format and everything. Also, as I was telling you, you have these 7 questions that you need to answer all the general questionnaire. And then when it comes to the specific questionnaire, you need to like choose one of the subsystems or one of the questionnaires that you would like to have more. So in that you need to find, you need to answer 3 questions, and from all the others you need to answer just 1 question. So you have the different departments, and you need to answer 1 question and 3 for 1. So at the end it's 15 questions that you need to submit in the application package, and all the information is there. So when it comes to the timeline and tools, the application is already launched. Yesterday we launched the application, it's there. So the deadline for submit the application is 4th of February at 22 GMT +1. So like this is Poland time. So just make sure if you are international, if you're applying from another country, just make sure that you put in your notes this time so you will be on time. The application needs to be sent by mail in a zip folder to Ella, that is our current MCP, Michalina Kowalski, that is our election manager, and to me. So our mails are also in the website and are also in the application booklet. After that, and after the application deadline, you will receive a mail saying that everything is okay. And on 5th of February, we will have the official candidates announcement. So like you will be official candidate, and all like the whole world will know that you are taking the best decision of your life, and you are here to shape our blue for AIESEC for Poland. And after that, you will receive by mail also from me or from Michalina Kowalski. From 6 to 20, you will be passing for this personal assessment. So you will receive like the next steps and what are the tests that you need to do. And also like you will be able to prepare your General Assembly video and all the things. So like all the details will be given to the people that is in the process, and it's like presenting in the GA. Then on 24, we have a General Assembly when you will have the confidence vote. So like you will be also need to present something to the LCPs, like you will have this Q&A. And after that, you will have the confidence vote. And then after the confidence vote, we are going to the selection process. The selection process, as it's in the application, it's about like interviews. You will have a functional interview. You will have an interview with me in some cases, and just to have more inputs about your experience or how you maybe can fit in another role. You will have some assessments. The assessments are optional, like depending on the applicants and depending on the inputs that we need from each candidate. And after that, like it's a selection process and of course announcement. So this is in terms of the first round. And in terms of the tools, it's just like some reminder that like the application is there, and also like all the reminders are in the post. But if you are not following Pinkhouse, that is our official page as MC, just like go and follow Pinkhouse, because all the news and all the things that are happening in AIESEC for Poland are there. So you can find our post there. You have the application booklet, the website, and the applicants Facebook group. When it comes to the applicants Facebook group, you can join to the group, and just as a recommendation, you can go to the notifications and like turn on the notifications, so like you will receive a notification every time that we are posting or we are updating the content. Because I think like for default you are not receiving notifications, so like just make sure that you turn on this, because we will be reminding you about the deadline, about different consultancy spaces, and about different things. So then you will be able to have all the information there. Also, like you have the website. So in our website, it's also the application and everything, but it's also you can see some videos about how it's the experience in Poland, how is our conferences, and like how is like the life in general in AIESEC for Poland. So I will invite you to go to the website and check it. There you have also the MCP message, you have the application, you have our contacts for election team, Ella, Michalina Kowalczyk, and me. You have also the contact list of all the MC Tempo, so you are able to contact people and like take as many inputs as you need. And also you can see all the videos in how it is the life in Poland. Then when it comes to here in resources, you can also click MC Tempo Tools, and you will go to this drive. In this drive, you can find different resources that will be useful for your application. So like you have the frameworks of the projects in IGB, you have my application and like my blank challenge paper and all the things that are regarding to my application. So you can also go and read it and understand what is the vision that I have for AIESEC for Poland next year. You have also the marketing tool, all the in terms of OD model, assessment, growth paths. You have also the TM tool. You have the contact list of the executive boards of AIESEC for Poland. You have our MC Tempo tracking tool, so you are able to see what are the strategies that we have, what is our vision, like what are the plan versus achieve, and what are the plans that we have in all the products. So this information is for you, so you can use it, you can go through that, and you can use all of those resources to make a better application and understand better what is the situation in Poland. And also you have this tool that is the question, so like every time you can use this file. Every time that you have a question, you can write it there, and every day we will be updating the answers. So if you are doing the application and you have any question regarding one of the subsystems, or you have a question regarding to the application or everything, you can go directly to this drive, and we will be answering all the questions there. And then when it comes to AIESEC for Poland, I think this is just my last message before going to the questions. And as I was telling you before, being part of an MC team is an experience that will change your life. Like being part of MC, whatever decision that you will take, it's something that will challenge you, and it's something that will challenge yourself. But being part of AIESEC for Poland and being MC in AIESEC for Poland, it's a life-changing decision. Because you will be able to lead these amazing people and this amazing network that is looking forward to grow as never before, that is looking forward to have the best people on board and to have the people that will shape our entity and will shape our people and will be working every single day to make the things happen. So applying for MC in AIESEC for Poland, it's a decision that you are taking, that be part of something huge and something bigger than you and something bigger than just 18 or 17 people in a team. It's going there and making sure that you will be the example and like the person that will lead AIESEC for Poland, and you will put and all your effort and all your works and all your strategies will be driven to make sure that our entity is growing, that the people that is in our network is growing and understanding and developing themselves, and we are creating impact around the world, but also we are making sure that all of our strategies are able to shape our entity for the future. So this is my invitation, and I truly believe that the people that is looking this consultancy space have all of these things, and you are able to do all of this for AIESEC for Poland. So now it's time for questions. I will go to the tool. So even if you have a question, you can go to the tool and you can write it. I will be answering now. We have a question. Why do you think GE and GT functions are dropping? And how do you think we can start growing on those? I think it's mostly like right now we're like trying to standardize all the products, as I was telling you before. It's something that requires a little bit of this situation. Why? Because when you are standardizing a product and you are standardizing the processes, you need to make sure that all the things are happening in the way that should happen. So normally when you have in this phase of standardization, there's this risk that the product maybe will drop because we are changing things, we are changing the timeline, we are changing a lot of things that are happening in the product. But then when everything is done, you are able to grow as never before. So like right now, we are in this stage when we are changing a lot of things in terms of legality, in terms of how to run the product, in terms of how to develop both products. It's not about that we are not able to boost it because of market or because of things, because we have a huge market to make it happen. But right now, we choose to have this battle, standardize the things, and I'm pretty sure that the next generation will be able to grow as never before in these two products. Good. Any other question? Remember that this space is for all the questions that you can have regarding MC Live, conditions, application process, whatever thing that comes to your mind, you can do it. Will GT split? No, in terms of a structure and national structure, no. In terms of how we are running the strategies for the product, yes. Like we are like trying and boosting all of the products to be sure that our strategies for G and GT are different. Right now, in terms of managing in MC level or even local level, we are not having two resources to do it. But the idea is to start developing the strategies, to start developing the products. So in one point, AIESEC for Poland will be able to have two different product heads for the products. How would you describe the membership regarding productivity and engagement with AIESEC? Okay, in terms of productivity, also you can check the TM tool, and there is all the measures per LC, per area, and everything, because like the productivity is of course changing a lot in how you want to say it, in terms of membership itself, in terms of product or everything. Right now, in terms of engagement with AIESEC, I think our network is very engaging with the purpose of AIESEC and with the things that we are doing as an organization. Of course, we can improve a lot in terms of like maybe ICOM or how we can like make all the rewards and recognition system to like engage even more the people. But in terms of purpose, in terms of how the people is working and like how the people believe in the things that AIESEC is doing, it's very, very high. The people, it's very aligned to the things that AIESEC is doing as an organization. Any other question? There's some people writing there, so remember that this space is for you. So try to ask whatever thing that is in your mind. Roadmap implementation so far. Foundational projects. Are you running any non-foundational projects? Yes, we're participating in a lot of non-foundational projects. We are also like as an MCP. A lot of us are part of the global steering things, and we are working very close with the strategies of AI. We are working also a lot in this roadmap implementation in terms of how we are adapting it to the local, like to the national level and the national strategies. We are going to replanning in the next day, so like we will be creating a lot of what are the next steps that we need to do in order to continue developing the roadmap for AIESEC for Poland. But yes, it's something that we are doing. It's something that we are participating, and maybe if you need more details, I can upload in these MC tools in which non-national projects we are participating, and like what is the status implementation of the entity. So like you can find it and you can also understand the global perspective. What do you think are the bottlenecks that are stopping AIESEC for Poland from going back to top 10 globally? I think it's mainly two things, and it's something that I was telling before. The first thing is this year by year strategy implementation that is taking a lot of time, and like maybe we are not building these huge strategies that can last for 3-5 years to make sure that like the growth is going there in a very constant way. And the second thing is. I think mostly is how we are specializing our people and how we are understanding every single product and how we are developing every single product. And that's why if you go through my application, you will understand that a lot of things that I want to do, it's specialize a lot of our marketing, specialize a lot of things that are happening, specialize a lot of our PD projects. So we will be able to support all the products and we will be able to bring this growth that maybe we are not having right now in the entity. Poland has conversion finished to complete lower than 35. Is there one of the focus for the next generation? Do you have an ambitious focus on that? Yeah, I think mostly also it's because it's not that like it's not that low. It's also because our realization peak is just starting, and like we were approving a lot of people in advance in terms of timeline. But yeah, of course, it's something that we are also considering for the next generation. I think it's something that go step by step. Of course, like first you standardize the processes, and then when these processes are standardized, you are able to track even better the experiences of the people, and you are able to continue growing in terms of complete. As I was presenting before, it was a focus for the previous generation. It's also a focus for us. But I think it's mostly because also our realization peak right now comparing with the next one, it will be higher. So like also to talk about complete and how we will finish the term, I think we will have more information at the end of the term. So we will be able to understand what are the next steps in terms of complete. What is the current role direction of PD in the entity? How does partners participate, connect with the membership? We have a lot of projects and we have a lot of things happening in PD. Like we have a lot of interactions with our members. We have a lot of partners supporting our conferences, but we have a lot of projects also regarding to exchanges, and it's the direction that PD is having right now, how PD can create projects to support exchanges. So like we are doing a SDG board, we are trying to push a lot like make companies support an SDG and then send people on exchange. How all the companies that we are working to, I don't know, boost different things can contribute directly to send people on exchange, to like give scholarships, to after ambassadors program, how these people can go on exchange. We are also having career days. So like we have a lot of companies that are participating with us in this event. And then like the things and the direction that we are trying to hide, it's all the companies that are working with us in different projects, make sure that all of them are contributing to exchanges. Yes, there's some people more writing. How is coaching system working right now, and what's the focus? Like right now in the structure of the MC, we have MCDP OD and we have two LCDs, like two OD directors. How it's working currently is like all like following the OD model. So like we have LCs in different clusters, and like we are allocating the resources in terms of what are the things that they can develop more. Like mostly in the first semester, the coaching system was like OD corner and 3 operations people that were LCPs. For this semester, we are having also OD directors. So we have OD corner and we have 4 OD directors that were LCPs during this last generation, and they are also coaching LCs. For the next generation and how I also envision the evolution of coaching system, it's more regarding to specialize the products and developing a lot of focused product strategies. So how we can use better when the LCs are choosing what is the focus product, how we can actually create better strategies and better support for them to develop these products in the way that they can grow. And also, yeah, I think this is in terms of coaching too, don't overcomplicate. What would you say are the main evolutions regarding finance at national and local level to increase sustainability? Do LCs have an investment mindset? Yes, like we are working in that. We're working a lot in that. I think something that we can develop even more, it's like smart investments. Like right now, the LCs are doing investments and they are like, I don't know, like putting ads or something like this. But like the way that we are measuring the ROI of this, it's something that we can improve. Also, in terms of evolution regarding to finance, it's a lot of understanding in how finance can be working in a synergy with the products in the local level. How finance as a department back office in the local level can support the different product heads, and also how we are standardizing all the things in terms of sales in IGB. That is the main thing. Like in the previous years, like we were doing very random processes of sales. Right now, we are improving a lot. We are selling for 6 weeks. We are like standardizing all the LCs in terms of pricing. We are standardizing a lot of things. So this will give us the possibility to track better the LCs and to make sure that all the LCs are running projects in IGB that are sustainable. Because it's something that it was not happening in the previous generations. Yes. Good. So I think there's still people writing. We have 5 minutes more. So if you have any question. How do you envision the role of CXO next year? In my plans, and I think it's something that is also need to be after IPM, I would like to have a separate product, like TLs of the products, like B2B and B2C, so we can specialize even more the way that we are working right now with ICX and OGX. So this is how I envision the role next year. It's also, I think, something that depends a lot in profile and a lot of knowledge and a lot of things that are happening, and also a lot in priorities for the entity. But so far, B2B and B2C. Do you have any specific direction for LCs on how to? Yes, I think it's very related with the thing that I was telling before. Like for me, the most important part is how we are actually boosting the focus product of the LCs. Like right now, we are like asking to the LCs to have this focus product, but we are not doing anything with that. How was the previous year? Like mostly, like all the LCs were running IGB, but not all the LCs were running OGB. So during this year, we are also opening OGB in all the LCs. So this is a huge advantage in terms of volume and in terms of all the things that the LCs can do. In terms of how to create regional players or global players, our OD model is created in the way that we are measuring that. And like if the people is growing in the OD model, they will be growing in terms of regional and global player, and the tiers are calculated in that way, like how our LCs are achieving the results that they need to have for tiers, and they are measured in a way that they can start being a regional or a global player. So yeah, the OD model is aligned to that, and you can check also the assessments that are in the folder of the tools and everything, because there you can see how the LCs are going and how is the plan versus achieve. I think the main bottleneck there is the thing that we were telling before, the plan versus achieve of the LCs. Like the plans are ambitious, of course, and the plans are there to make sure that our LCs are in the regional visibility, but in terms of achievement, it's something that we can improve. How do you see AIESEC for Poland OD model evolving in the next years? What were the steps taken this past year? Okay, I think it's regarding with that. What was the main things that were improving during this generation? It was more clarity in the OD model, also like using the different indexes that we need to have in the OD model to make sure that we are measuring all the things, not just a number of exchanges, but also how it's going in terms of human resources and in terms of financial resources. What are the things that need to happen? Like, I think right now, like, we just changed the OD model and we just like push the OD model. So it's mostly implementation of the OD model, like understanding in the local level, understanding how you can use this OD model, not just to plan, but also how you can use it in your daily operations in order to actually have a growth path in the way that, okay, I'm here right now and like I want to be a regional competitor or I want to be a global player. So what is the growth path that I need to follow? Right now we are having a lot of these things, like we are having the growth paths, we are having the OD model, we are using the OD model and the tiers and cluster to make the planning of the EVs. But how we can maybe make sure that this is not getting just in the beginning of the experience, like in the terms of planning or replanning, how we can make LCs using this during the whole experience and the whole time. I think this is one of the challenges. Cool. So let's wait 2 minutes more, 3 minutes more for the last questions. And anyway, remember that like you will have all of these tools. You have also like the applicants group, so you can ask in this tool all the time that you want. We will be answering all the questions every day. And also during the next week, we will be posting in this applicants group where are the consultancy spaces. We will have consultancy spaces based on the different subsystems, so you will be also able to ask more questions to the product heads and to the MCPs that are currently there. So like maybe you can get more inputs. And yeah, like in general, to like all of those specific questions that maybe you have regarding something specific, you can do it also with the MC members. So yes, like I think from my side, it's everything. I don't want to make this space more longer, so like then also people that is not here can see the video. But thank you so much for attending to the space. I hope it was useful for you and like you were able to solve some of your questions. Anyway, if you have any other thing that is in your mind and you are not understanding something, just make sure that you are writing the questions in this tool. Anytime, it's okay. You also have my contact, and you can also text me, and I will be more than happy to support you in the application process. And yeah, again, I'm super happy to see a lot of people here, a lot of people that is trying to work for AIESEC for Poland. And any question or anything that is happening in your mind, just let me know. Thank you so much, and I wish a lot of success in the application process. And I hope I will have a lot of good news regarding all of you during the process. So thank you so much. Have a good night, day, depending where you are. And yeah, see you soon. Bye-bye.